Hi, my name is Anita Cobb, and I'm the chair of the Inclusion and Aviation Committee for SWAI.
Hi, my name is Zenia Cornejo, and I am the vice chair for the Inclusion and Aviation Committee for SWAI.
Hi, I'm Daniel Meyer, and I'm one of the vice chairs for the Inclusion and Aviation Committee for SWAI.
This is the Inclusion and Aviation Video Podcast.
Southwest AAA. Southwest AAA. From the runway to the boardroom, every voice got space. Different paths, one sky, yeah, we setting the pace. We don't wait for permission, we build connection. Grow, collaborate, thrive, that's the direction. Professional development, workforce on lock. Building future leaders, round the clock. Resources shared, optimized, multiply, gain. Wide hoard opportunity when we all can reign. Network ain't numbers, it's trust in the room. Call us a bridge, it's careers that bloom. When one of us rises, the whole hub feels it. Southwest community, strong building business. Say it with me, when the future's the play. Southwest AAA, SWAI, Grow, connect, elevate. Hey.
Whitney, thank you so much for joining us today. We're thrilled to have you here as a part of our Inclusion and Aviation Committee's efforts to highlight the importance of professional development and credentialing in aviation. For those of you who may not know, Whitney Robert is the Deputy Executive Director of Operations and Maintenance at the Monterey Regional Airport in sunny California. She also serves on the SWAI Academic and Certification Committee, where she plays a key role in shaping opportunities for professional advancement in aviation. Whitney, our goal in this conversation is to shine a light on the hidden value of credentialing, how it impacts careers, leadership, and inclusion, and explore ways that we can make these opportunities more accessible to everyone in our industry. Now, I've had the privilege of knowing and working with you for several years, and I have always truly admired your commitment to operational excellence and supporting others in professional growth. So let's just go ahead and get started by talking about your perspective on credentialing. For professionals at different career stages, can you walk us through the AAE, the CAE, CM, and ACE credentials, who each one is designed for, what the process looks like, and how individuals can determine which credential is the right fit for them?
Excellent. Thanks, Erica. So when I talk with professionals about credentials, I always start with their career stage, what their role is, and what their intent is. What are you trying to build right now, and what do you want to strengthen later? I have a slide that I want to share. Is it okay if I share my screen really quickly?
Please do.
All right, let me make sure I do this right. Okay, you should be seeing a snippet of certification pathways, yes?
Yes, beautiful.
Perfect. All right, so I'm going to walk you through these, and I have these listed in no particular order, but I kind of wanted to synthesize it all so that everyone can have a quick takeaway. So for the CM, for me, this credential is ideal for students, early career professionals, for those who are just transitioning into aviation. And that's because it provides a broad foundation in airport management and helps individuals understand how various disciplines within airports work together. The CM process is structured and approachable. It's a self-paced program, and you are required to pass a test. You are given 4 modules that encompass all disciplines that are required to run a medium to large size airport. Moving on to the ACE, the Airport Certified Employee. This program is designed for professionals who want to deepen their expertise in a specific functional area, like airport operations or maybe communications, finance, security. There are actually 10 individual disciplines for the ACE program. And I think that the ACE is particularly valuable for those who are early career or maybe even mid-level professionals who are specifically very hands-on in their role and want to demonstrate their technical competence or mastery within their particular discipline. The one thing that I did leave off this chart, and I'm going to encourage all to check in with AAAE, is the cost and duration. I mentioned about the CM being a self-paced course The ACE is also a self-paced course, but there are time limits. You have X amount of time to complete the test, as it were. For the CM has a test to get those credentials, as well as the ACE has a test, computer-based test to get those credentials. Next, we'll move on to the Accredited Airport Executive, which is the gold or platinum standard for our industry. It's intended for experienced professionals who are operating or preparing for executive level membership roles. The process is intentionally rigorous. I'm actually going through it right now. It's very comprehensive, and it requires the candidate to demonstrate an extreme depth across the regulatory, financial, planning, environmental, operational, leadership, strategic decision making, everything that is included in being the top dog, as it were, at an airport. And it's less about testing knowledge like the CM and the ACE, and it's more about demonstrating your judgment and your executive level readiness. And then finally, we go to the Certified Airport Executive, which is a SWAE only credential. So that's important. You won't find information on the CAE on AAAE's website, but you will find the requirements on SWAE's website. So that is offered through SWAE, and it recognizes seasoned professionals who have demonstrated leadership. They've sustained their professional development within the region, right? And they are demonstrating meaningful engagement within the association. And it's well suited for those who are already in leadership positions, but also for those who are seeking to attain leadership, especially as it is within our Southwest region. So determining the right credential, I encourage individuals to think in terms of their foundation, their specialization, and then their leadership goals. CM builds on foundational knowledge, ACE strengthens the functional expertise, and then AAE validates your executive level competency. And then CAE is on another track. It recognizes your leadership ability and your professional contribution, either to your individual airport or to SWAE as a whole. So that gives a kind of overview of everything that's available when we talk credentialing or certification pathways.
That's amazing. And I love that chart. It just simplifies each one of them specifically and kind of helps people find which one might be a better fit for them. So I love it. All right. What are some of the most common barriers or misconceptions that you see that prevent people, especially early career and mid-career professionals, from pursuing AAA credentials? And how does the Credential Committee help support candidates through those challenges?
Okay. When we're talking about barriers and misconceptions, I'd say that the most common barrier that I hear is I don't have the time. People are saying things like, oh, I'm not sure that I have all the knowledge, so they don't feel like they have the confidence, right? Or there's a general misunderstanding of what is required in the process. So early career professionals are like, I'm not ready yet. And mid-career professionals say that they have family obligations, that their work is going to get in the way. And there's also misconception that the credentials are only for people who have extreme high status within their airport, where that's not always the case. I would say that our committee works hard to demystify the process. If you've ever reached out to headquarters to inquire about any of these certifications, they will direct you to academics and certification. And I and my vice chairs walk with people one-on-one through the choices so that we can help them to find which credential is best for them. So the one thing that I try to impress upon people when they reach out to me is that these credentials are earned progressively, right? Not all at once. And the readiness is something that you can build upon and not something that you should wait for. And I think that our committee focuses on normalizing the idea of asking for support, asking for mentorship, and just having some guidance along your journey. And, needing those things is not a demonstration of weakness. I think that it's a true strength to raise your hand and say, hey, I want to do this. And can you help me to get this done?
I love it. And you actually have been walking me through getting my own CAE application processed right now and helping me make sure I'm checking all those boxes and understanding all the requirements. And you've been holding my hand through that. And so I want to thank you so much for helping me through that personally. So what advice would you give to someone who's interested in pursuing an AAE, CM, or CAE that feels unsure about timing, resources, or readiness? And what concrete first steps can they take today to get started?
Okay. I think the best advice is probably to just start small. If you're interested, take the first step to learn. You don't have to immediately commit and pay the fees that may be required for these credentials. Read the requirements, talk to academics and certification, or talk to someone else who's gone through the process. We make ourselves available at conferences and when we are gathered amongst the industry to talk about these things, right? That's how academics and certification avails themselves to the organization. We have in the works to produce some deliverables, some webinars, so that we can make this more accessible. A couple of concrete first steps. I've already said learn about the credential. Make sure you meet the general requirements, right? Then I would say let your supervisor know that you're holding this as a professional goal. They may oftentimes help you through the process because they themselves may have one of these credentials. Also, they may offer a financial incentive, whether that is paying for the credential for you or offering you additional pay after you've received the credential, right? So I think it is definitely appropriate to get your supervisor on board with your goal of certification, and they'll help you outline a realistic timeline, especially if they've already gone through the process. So I want to distill that advice down to something simple and memorable. Don't wait for the perfect timing because it doesn't exist. I would say that momentum builds clarity. So once you start taking those small steps, asking those questions, your path will be revealed on its own.
I love it. That makes total sense. Great feedback. All right, now switching gears a little bit more back to inclusion. Can you tell us what are some ways that you currently infuse inclusion in your committee?
So I would say that inclusion is woven into how we approach outreach and support. We actively work to reach out to students, including students that are in non-aviation backgrounds within our region, because we want to expose them and we want them to explore careers in aviation, especially because we need other businesses and professional disciplines to make airports work, right? We need the engineers, we need the accountants, we need those people. So academics and certification, we promote awareness of the business of airports to all. I think that what we're doing right now, I want to thank you guys for actually inviting me to speak about certification, because this is a way that we can get the word out and continue the awareness and promoting that we offer these things that are of benefit to our organization. And I would say it's of personal importance to me to be a reflection of those who might not see themselves represented in the industry. So that's why I champion people obtaining these certifications. I would also say that the Academics and Certification Committee, we're working on developing some resources, specifically a conference participation guide and a pocket networking guide that I think will be valuable for students, young professionals, and first-time attendees, to kind of take the edge off as they start to dip their toe into networking and to learning more about the industry. So
Wow.
in academics and certification, we aim to communicate with plain language, remove unnecessary barriers, and kind of meet people where they are, however that looks. Engagement, collaboration with inclusion in aviation, however we can get it done.
I love it. That sounds so exciting. I want to see that once it's ready. That sounds amazing. All right. Now, what are some goals that you have for inclusion that we can help with?
Yeah, one of my goals is to strengthen the bridge between students, young professionals, and the credentialed leaders within our region. I want to promote the visibility of the diverse credentialing paths that we have. I want there to be more storytelling about non-linear career paths. For example, I got out of college, couldn't find a job, so I took some time to complete the certified member program. And after I completed, everybody was looking my way, right? So I think more storytelling, more engagement on those topics. And that can be accomplished through people in inclusion and aviation talking about their experiences, especially if they already have a credential. I'd also say you can support membership through mentorship programs, sharing your personal journey, or just encouraging someone to ask the question, encouraging them to apply for these programs. I think that makes a real difference.
I love it. All right, now here's a whopper of a question. With unlimited human or financial resources, what would you do to further the message and reach of your initiatives?
Unlimited resources. I'd build a more structured program for a more structured credential mentorship program that pairs candidates with credentialed professionals based on their career stage and their goals. So there may be someone who was like me, who just got out of college, doesn't know what to do. Maybe I'd be a great match for them. I want to prepare additional resources that are, I want to upgrade the prep resources that are already available, especially because some of the resources that are already available come with a fee. So if we could create some great resources that are free, have more workshops, more mock interview sessions, more recorded sessions where people can learn, practice, so that candidates can prepare on their own time and at their own pace. I think that'd be great. Ultimately, I want everyone interested in credentialing to know that it's achievable, to know that they'll be supported, and to know that it's worth the investment.
That would be amazing. All right, last question for you. Thank you so much for your time today. Is there anything that SWAHI members can do to help with your committee's objectives?
Absolutely. I think the single most impactful thing that your committee can do would be to have the conversation. And I want to thank you all again for the opportunity today to talk about certification pathways. Ask your colleagues their goals, share your own experiences, and encourage participation in these programs that we offer. SWAHI does a lot for the industry, and I think we have a lot of membership who just don't know all the things that we offer. Another thing that I would ask specifically of your committee is to connect me or other members of academics and certification with their university, especially if it's within the Southwest region. We're looking for ways to reach those colleges and universities or whatever pipeline brought you here to the Southwest region. We want to connect with students and early career professionals as early and often as we can so that they can feel encouraged, supported, and so that they can take the next steps in credentialing. Certification, credentialing, it thrives in an environment where everyone is intentional about it and everyone uplifts those who are seeking to attain those credentials.
I love it. Let's just keep the collaboration going. Well, Whitney, as we've discussed, credentialing isn't just about professional recognition. It's about opening doors, building confidence, and creating pathways for leadership and growth. The work you and the SWAHI Academic and Certification Committee are doing is so essential to making these opportunities more accessible and inclusive for everyone. Whitney, thank you so much for inspiring us and for your continued leadership in both operations and inclusion. We look forward to seeing the incredible impact your work will continue to have on our industry. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Inclusion and Aviation Committee. It was a pleasure being here. Have a great day.
We thank you so much for joining our podcast today, and we hope to see you again soon. Much love from SWAHI.
When the future's to play. Southwest AAA, SWAHI, Connect elevate. Hey.